The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
ESPN's NFL insider and noted draft analyst Field Yates has released a top 2-round NFL mock draft, and what he has the Jets doing is seemingly gaining some steam. We'll talk about that and much more when Jets reporter Nick Faria joins us in his weekly spot on the show. Plus, as Maniac Madness continues, more chances to get in our raffle. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go. Here on a Friday, we are 20 days away from the start of the NFL draft. And guess what? If you think about it, that means 3 weeks from tonight, we will already know who the Jets have taken in round 1 and what they'll be doing in round 2. So it's fitting that we're analyzing a 2-round mock from Field Yates plus everything else going on with the Jets as the offseason program gets underway on Monday. So let's say hello right now to a guy who covers the Jets for a bunch of outlets, including now JetsXFactor.com, our good friend, Nick Faria. Nick, happy Friday, my man.
Happy Friday, Jake. Great to be back on.
So great question here from Duncan to start things off here, and I want your thoughts on it. Is it fair to say everyone's draft stock is down with the markets being the way they are, Nick?
Absolutely. This isn't the same draft class it was. This isn't the same stock market it was last year. I completely agree.
Oh, man. All right. We got a lot to get into. We will get to Fields mock. I want to remind people, by the way, that we still have tickets available for the draft party. A bunch of you bought tickets yesterday, which was cool to see. So come hang out with me and a bunch of crazy-ass maniacs at Clifton Hall in New York City. And as you heard me say, just 20 days from right now. So click the link in the description, put your name, your email, boom, it takes you to where you need to go to get your ticket. Just click that link once again in the description. Your thoughts on this week's owners' meetings, Nick? We heard from the 3 most important people, arguably, with the Jets organization, the owner, the head coach, and the general manager. What did you take away? What did you learn from anything that was said this week down in Florida?
There were a lot of positives. I think there were a lot of positives. There was one negative that kind of, I would say, irked me if I was a fan. But let's start with the positives here. First off, Aaron Glenn is in complete control, and he really can control a meeting room, very similar to how Rex Ryan used to do it as well, Bill Parcells. I really, really like what I heard from Aaron Glenn on a lot of different things, talking about the investment in the young players. I thought his answer on the coaching staff, the fact that their system is not done yet. They're still trying to figure it out because they have to learn what kind of players they have. That is the quintessential way you want to hear a first-time head coach come into a team. They're going to have their own ideas. They're going to have an idea of what they want their team to look like. But that idea is going to have to change if you don't have the players to implement that kind of push. So I thought his understanding of, listen, our job as coaches is to make sure we get the best out of the players that we have. I thought that was a very, very strong answer. I also think we need to talk about Woody Johnson. I thought his answer talking about, people looked at it and said, oh, the bogus comment about the NFLPA, all the stuff that was going on. Everyone kind of gravitated towards that. But his understanding of what failed and what didn't fail, his appreciation to say, listen, I'm going to be communicating a lot more with the players to make sure that everyone is in line. Everyone is sort of in agreement of what we're trying to build, what we're trying to do. He fully supports Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, clearly has their trust right now. So there's not really a sense of backstabbing or people are worried about their jobs right now. I thought that entire press conference, that entire couple of days was great for Woody Johnson sort of to say, listen, I understand what I did wrong. I understand what we failed at, but now it's about picking up the pieces, not worrying about what happened last year and moving forward. I will say the one thing that I thought was a little interesting, if I was a fan, it would irk me a little bit, was with Aaron Glenn. We talk about him being a Bill Parcells disciple. And one thing that Bill Parcells always would do is have open competition at every single roster spot. At quarterback, at running back, at receiver, everyone was competing for a job. And his comment of saying the depth chart is made in pencil, it can change in a dime. Again, it's fair, but the fact that the Jets are simply just giving the starting job to Justin Fields without even a true competition, it reminds me very similarly of what the Pittsburgh Steelers did last year with Russell Wilson. They had him, they had Justin Fields, they had an open competition. But Mike Tomlin said, Russell Wilson's a veteran, so we're actually going to make him sort of 1A in this competition. So it wasn't really a fair battle throughout training camp. And Justin Fields, according to a lot of reporters, actually outplayed Russell Wilson at times during training camp. So to me, to not have a true open competition at quarterback is surprising from a Bill Parcells disciple like this. Does it mean that this is going to be the end of the world? Of course not. Of course not. But it's still something to look at and say, well, wait a minute. If it's an open competition everywhere, why is it not at quarterback, the most important position on the field for a player who's 26 years old and really hasn't shown the ability to play at a high level consistently throughout his career? Like I said, a lot of positives, a lot more positives than negatives. But at the same point, you do have to acknowledge no open competition, no true open competition at quarterback is at least surprising.
I think it's pretty simple. They wouldn't have been able to get Fields
completely agree
without
completely
saying,
agree.
Hey, you're the guy. And like the difference between Pittsburgh last year and the Jets this year is like last year, both guys were being added to the team and they were coming off, down seasons or, they were looking for a change of scenery. In the case of Fields, right, it ended with him basically getting replaced by the guy they ended up taking number 1 overall. I just feel like with the Jets, like we know what Tyrod Taylor is. He's 36 years old. He's been a backup for a very long time. He hasn't been a real starter in the league in a decade, essentially, unless you count like the 1 year in Houston before he got hurt or like the brief opportunity in Cleveland before, you guessed it, he got hurt. So I just feel like that doesn't really bother me. Like they gave Fields $30 million guaranteed. When the second they did that, you knew he was going to be the starter.
That's starter money. And I completely agree with that. And listen, it's fair overall, but even then if you're going to say open competition, then don't, it's everyone understands who's going to be what. You don't have to go out and say it's this, it's that, it's this and that. I think they're just going back and forth. And again, I want to preface, Aaron Glenn did not have a bad press conference. He was fantastic throughout those answers. I think that one answer was the one where I was like, wait a minute, why is it this but not this moving forward? And again, I want to make clear, it's more of just splitting hairs because that was a really strong couple of days for the Jets.
Well, it's interesting because based on how Glenn has talked about Fields, it's like they truly think he could be a franchise quarterback.
The next Geno, the next Sam Darnold.
Multiple times he alluded to the fact that we're going to let him play quarterback. And without like throwing any coach he previously had under the bus, it almost is like made to sound like they believe he's never been properly coached. Now, I don't know if the Jets are going to be the team that has the right coaching for Justin Fields. But that's what they're implying through their messaging when they're asked questions about why they signed Fields and the upside they believe he has.
Well, the upside's clearly there. I mean, as a running quarterback, he can provide something that very few other quarterbacks can at the NFL level. The ability to create things when nothing is going right can change a loss to a win. You've seen that throughout the NFL recently. It's why a lot of NFL teams now are sort of going away from the pocket passer. They're trying to use the more athletic versions of these quarterbacks and essentially saying, hey, we'll live with the low completion percentage so long as you can create plays on your feet. And again, there is upside. He's got a big arm. He has improved his accuracy. It's improved every single year it's been in the National Football League. But there are still things he needs to work on. If Aaron Glenn feels that his coaching staff is the group to be able to do that, all the power to him. It's year one. They should be given the benefit of the doubt, at least to start moving forward.
If you're watching this live, we're talking with Jets reporter Nick Faria. Make sure you guys check out Nick's work. He's now writing about the Jets for JetsXFactor.com. Also, his NFL coverage on Athlon Sports. So make sure you guys read Nick's work. If you have any questions for Nick or myself, write it in. If it's a super chat, we interrupt what we're doing, and we will bring it up on the screen as quickly as possible. Some other thoughts I had from this week down in Florida, Nick, when it came to some of the free agent signings the Jets made, they said there was a clear emphasis on getting younger, which I get. While at the same time, does it have to be an emphasis on signing a bunch of guys from the dollar store? I mean, we'll find out if any of these signings are actually, worth a damn, because other than Fields and the Stevens signing, every deal they have given out this offseason has been for 1 year. And the Stevens signing certainly is one of those signings that you go, huh? But they clearly see something in him. And now we'll find out if, just like with Fields, they could coach Stevens up.
And I do think that if there's one player that was signed that fans shouldn't be worried as much as they are about, it's probably Stevens, because Aaron Glenn did great work in Detroit with the cornerbacks. The Jets have always sort of developed their cornerback room very, very well. The group is very strong, very well respected around the National Football League. If there's a group that can get the best out of Brandon Stevens, it's actually with the Jets. So I'm not really worried about that overall signing. And then you look at some of these other players, these bargain bin, shop hunters, if you will. I thought Andre Sisco was one of the more underrated signings this offseason. I really liked him as a safety. Yes, he had a down year last year, but players do have down years. Sauce Gardner had a down year last year. If you have proper coaching in place, you're going to be able to get high upside for that kind of young player. And I do think if we're talking about a player that will actually make an impact, a bigger impact than people realize, it's probably tight end Stone Smart, the former tight end of the Los Angeles Chargers. His analytics were fantastic in short spurts with the Chargers last season. And again, he's never been the first tight end on a roster. I don't think he's going to be the first tight end moving into the offseason. But he's a player who catches the football really well. Really well. His catch rate is excellent overall. He's been targeted. His targets increased every single year. So clearly, Justin Herbert trusted Smart more and more as he continued throughout his career. And I look at it and say, the Jets are going to want to attack the middle of the field with Justin Fields at quarterback. If you have multiple tight ends on the field who can do that for you, and we're probably going to get to the tight end conversation again when we get closer to the draft, but if you have two quality tight ends who can make catches and move downfield, that's a huge plus for Fields. It's a huge plus for the Jets offense, and why Stone Smart's going to be a very, very positive free agent, in my opinion, moving forward.
Aaron Glenn said he wanted the Jets to move in silence. Are they capable of doing such a thing, or is the reason why there's been some silence so far because they're signing a bunch of these bargain bin type of players besides really Fields?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's, yes, they want to move in silence. They don't want to create, all this hoopla about, hey, we're the Jets and we're going to win the offseason again. But I also think that when you make all these sort of small form signings, you're not essentially, going to be the talk of the offseason. Like the Buffalo Bills made all these splash signings, Joshua Palmer, Joey Bosa, Larry Ogunjobi. And that kind of got them into hot water here because two of them have been suspended by the NFL. The first week of free agency, they signed two players, both of them suspended. And now, because they've signed all these free agents, they have no money left to pay James Cook. That's not exactly the place you want to be at for a team. And I know Buffalo is probably going to win the division next year anyway. They've got Josh Allen. They've got the best quarterback in the division. But not paying your running back when you essentially gave $36 million to Joshua Palmer and another, $10-12 million to Joey Bosa, that's money you could have been spent on re-signing some of your younger talent, and they chose not to for that one particular player, and now they're going to have to live in the spotlight moving forward.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's set the stage for the ASMANIAC raffle, since we have a lot of big items this week. All right, expensive items, I might add. We're extending the raffle to Monday, so you have today, tomorrow, and Sunday to enter. From the top, here we go. A replica Joe Namath Super Bowl III ring. A signed Don Maynard frame photo.
Oh.
A signed Emerson Boozer old school helmet. A signed Weeb Eubank helmet. A signed Don Maynard helmet with Hall of Fame inscription on it. And our grand prize, the old school Joe Willie Namath signed helmet. So,
good Lord.
Those are the prizes. Gift away to be entered. $20 super chat will get you 5 entries in the ASMANIAC raffle. Appreciate everyone who continues to support the show. All right. Before we get to Field Yates mock draft, let's now set the stage for ASMANIAC Madness. Here is where we're at, folks. We are making our way through the Sweet 16. The Elite Eight will start on Sunday. We know in the Chicken Soup region, it will be the big fella versus King Lowski. We know in the Hood region, it will be Neil versus Peter Castro. In the Butter region, we know it will be Ricky versus either the winner of Craig from Australia or Gary 3D Boxing. That matchup will be on the second show today. And now we look ahead to the Train region, where we have the last remaining 1 seed left in the tournament, the Lane Train, Lane Kerner against the number 4 seed, Kyle Clifton. And then, of course, whoever wins that will face the winner of the matchup tomorrow between V-Man and Mr. Bonesy. So,
oh man, that's a good one.
I mean, it's a battle, folks. I mean, it could be anyone's ball game at this stage in the tournament. Today, in this show right now, we have the 1 seed, Lane Train, the 4 seed, Kyle Clifton. You know how this works. The YouTube poll opens in the live chat, and you vote to decide who advances to the Elite Eight. So without further ado, let's hand things over to the voice of ASMANIAC Madness. Here is Jim Nance.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Many are wondering if Lane even knows he's competing today. He has been radio silence. Kyle Clifton damn well knows that he's competing, and we'll hear from Kyle coming up. But now let's break down this mock draft from Field Yates. So it's a 2-round mock, and I really like Field. I think he does a good job. I think he's been in NFL front offices, so he's plugged in with some teams. And I'll skip right to the Jets pick at number 7. Field Yates has the New York Jets selecting Armin Membu, the offensive tackle from Missouri. Field wrote on ESPN.com, the free agent signing of Justin Fields means the Jets have a quarterback solution for at least 2025. But the loss of Morgan Moses in free agency means they have a hole at right tackle. New York already had pass protection issues, finishing 23rd in pass block win rate last season. Membu had a meteoric rise in 2024 as the 20-year-old dominated in the SEC with tenacity, elite movement, skills, and pass protection proficiency. He could be a tone setter up front, joining Olu Fashanu to give the New York Jets a pair of talented young OTs. Nick, if this is what Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn decided to do on draft night, your reaction would be what?
That they got it right. They absolutely nailed the pick out of the park. I had a report yesterday morning, essentially saying that the New England Patriots wanted Will Campbell over Armand Membu, and that's probably the best news for the Jets. Campbell can play multiple different positions. Membu is the pure right tackle of the bunch. And yeah, I think this is a no-brainer for the Jets. I've said it repeatedly. This is the way to go if you're trying to build the Jets into a long-term winner moving forward.
It is a safe pick, it feels like. I can't sit here and say it would be the wrong pick. I guess the question at this point is there's been so much hype around Armin Membu. Are we sure he's there, right? Like, I know New England might like Will Campbell, but, I mean, how do we know it's not a smokescreen, right? Like Mike Vrabel's like, oh, he's a tackle. Well, what if he's just saying that? He knows how the game works.
Well, the Patriots, here's the other thing. The Patriots need guards as well. Like that, their offensive line has been a mess.
You're going to take a guard at 4, though?
Would you take a tackle who has the ability to play guard? That would be the question. And the other piece to this is Will Campbell played 3 years as a starter. He's got starting experience. He's played a lot in the SEC. So that kind of experience compared to Membu's, where he's 20 years old, had one great year, but no one really knows where the long-term trajectory will be. With Campbell's higher floor, that's probably where Vrabel would want to go in the first place.
100%. That's fair. I just want to see what happens with the pick in front of New England, right? What if the Giants all of a sudden take
where things get
a quarterback?
Yeah.
What does New England then do at 4? Is there a chance that Campbell could actually make it to the Jets at 7? And then would the Jets go with Campbell or would they go with Membu for the same thing you're kind of arguing, right? A guy who could play both spots. And you look at John Simpson last year of his deal, AVT last year of his deal. What if the Jets are thinking ahead like, hey, we'll take Campbell. We'll try him at right tackle. Worst case scenario, we know he's going to be an all-pro guard if we need to move him there if we lose one of those guys in free agency. That's one thing no one's talking about here, the scenario where Campbell's on the board and the Jets consider him.
The only reason why I think they wouldn't is I do believe that they have Elijah Vera Tucker in the future of their plans. I think he will, if he plays a full season, he will continue to be a Jet moving forward. He'll get the extension he's looking for. I do believe that while Campbell has the higher floor, the lower ceiling may go to the Jets and say, you know what, we want the potential of an all-pro caliber player like Membu can be. Yes, the floor is lower, but the ceiling is higher. Let's go for that kind of player. Again, he had a great year in college. He's still only 20. If you're trusting the coaching staff to coach this player up to be ready right away, I don't think, and let me be clear, if they get Will Campbell or if they get Armand Membu, it's a great pick for the Jets. They need to figure out that right tackle position. Whoever they covet more that's available to them at 7 and they take will end up being the smart pick. I am adamant that they should not be taking a tight end at 7 with Tyler Warren. That's usually the discussion that goes in there. But if the Giants were to take Shadur Sanders and the other one of Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter are taken by the New England Patriots, then it's conceivable to think that Mason Graham is going to Jacksonville. All I've heard from the Raiders is that they're going to take Ashton Genty. And that leaves you the position of choosing between one of the two tackles or Tyler Warren. And as we've talked about, I'll take the tackle every day, no matter who.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first person on this Friday soiree to gift a channel membership is the guy competing against the Lane Train right now in ASMANIAC Madness. Kyle Clifton, is he trying to buy votes? I don't care. I'm a Capplefish. He's gifted 5 channel memberships.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Richard Jones, Michael Calvo, Taylor Sterling, Jets Mess, and Ryan Mercurio, all receiving channel memberships from the Kyle Clifton, who Beastbreaker famously said was a member of the New York Stock Exchange. Nick? Kyle Clifton.
Look, I will say I don't agree with some of Clifton's takes, but I think he's a top caller here. I think his seeding was low to begin with. I think he could have been a 1 or a 2.
By the way, Nick, you were all over Ricky NY. He has been him and King Lowski and Mr. Bonesy, I believe, are the 3 Asmaniacs who have had the highest margin of victory through their first 3 rounds.
Listen, Ricky was a caller. When I first jumped on with you, when I first was a guest, he was one of the callers where I'm like, man, he gives nuanced takes. I may not agree with any of them, but this is why I think this is the case. Boom, 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 boom. He's got terrible Wi-Fi. I understand that, but he is a great, great caller. I think he's going to go all the way.
And look, he's fixed the Wi-Fi issue too, so it's completely changed things.
I think he's going to win it all. I really do.
Well, we will find out just how far Ricky NY will go. We do know right now Clifton is in a battle against the Lane Train. It is 51-49. As I'm talking, 50-50 now early on in our voting between the 1 seed, the last remaining 1 seed. Could you imagine we have all 4 of our number 1 seeds eliminated before the conclusion of the Sweet 16? That'd be something.
Look, Lane's a great caller too. I mean, he's had some unbelievable moments. It's incredible to me that this is what a Sweet 16 matchup.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so many great callers here, man. It really is. Like, if Clifton's a 4 seed, you think about how many great callers are in front of him on that listing. That's incredible.
Unbelievable. Ryan checks in with a super chat. Let's get Kyle to the next round. Derail the Lane Train. It ain't going to be easy to derail the Lane Train. I mean, Lane came into this tournament red hot. He gave us Dixon Hall right at the start of of this bad boy, which certainly played well, I'd imagine, with the Asmaniacs. Anyway, more on this mock draft here. So it was a 2-round mock from Field. The second pick, and I've started to do a lot of work on this guy because we keep hearing how great the tight end class is. I think Jet fans will like this. Tight end from LSU, Mason Taylor, who is obviously the son of former Jet and, of course, Dolphins legend, Jason Taylor. So Mason Taylor, tight end here. Nick, your thoughts if the Jets went down this path?
What I find hilarious is this is not the first time we have seen and heard a mock draft where the Jets take Armand Membu and Mason Taylor. The reason why is because I believe Antoine Staley just ran a mock earlier in the week with that exact prediction of Membu and Taylor. And I'm going to squeeze in here and say I have a mock coming out in early next week. And guess who I've got in the first 2 rounds? It's the same thing, Membu and Taylor. And the reason why is because when I look at what the Jets need, they need an athletic tight end who can catch the football and make plays after the catch. And I look at Taylor really as kind of a Zach Ertz type of guy. He's a little bit bigger than Ertz, but he's just as athletic, a little bit more athletic even, can get open, really had a strong career at LSU. And when you pair him with an offensive lineman in the first round, that's the right value that you are looking for. You take a tight end, a really good tight end early in the second round who can provide an impact right away, along with an offensive tackle who will be the starter right away. That's what you want to see from a value perspective of what the Jets are looking for to improve their offense.
Mason Taylor is an intriguing option because he has, NFL Hall of Fame pedigree. Think about this. His father is Dolphins great Jason Taylor. His uncle is Dolphins great Zach Thomas. They're both in the Hall of Fame. His brother plays safety for the Arizona Wildcats. He's gotten better every single year. I believe he's a pretty good blocker. At least that's what the scouting report says about him. And Yates' breakdown for why he picked Taylor here for the Jets. He wrote, I consider Tyler Warren for the Jets at 7 before going with Membu. So picking Taylor one round later makes sense to fill a hole at tight end. He has exceptional hands and can handle inline blocking duties. Dom C has Mason Taylor as his 3rd rated tight end. He's got Warren 1, Colston Loveland 2, Taylor 3. He's got a 2nd-round grade on him. It's the only tight end he has a round 2 grade on. So I'm on board with this. You still need to find receiving help probably with your next pick. But, if that's what they did, 1st and 2nd round, it'd be tough to sit here as a Jet fan and be that upset. They're the 2 good players, good logic applied, positions in need. 2
positions that they need to fill, 100%. And these guys are 2 starters. Like, they are going to come in and be the starters week 1, in my opinion.
And that, to me, has been my big thing. Based on how the Jets have handled free agency, they need to come away from this draft with probably 3 starters, but definitely at least 2 with their first 2 picks.
100%. And I think you're going to get it. Look, Taylor, there's a long history of children of professional athletes or Hall of Fame athletes that they didn't really rise to the occasion. Probably the best example is Kellen Winslow Sr. and Jr. Winslow Sr. was one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Winslow Jr. obviously had a lot of issues, even though he had a nice start to his career. And that may turn some people off to say, hey, do never take the children of, all-time great players. But with Mason Taylor, you see the potential there. He's got great hands. He is able to get open, and he is a solid blocker. So when you essentially establish the fact that you're able to solve your offensive line issue right away with the 7th overall pick, and then come back in the 2nd round and take one of the better tight ends in a deep tight end class, you really can't look and say anything else about it other than the Jets knocked it out of the park.
Reminder, this show, take it on the go. You could listen to it in audio form on either Apple Podcast or Spotify. Just search The Jake Asman Show, and you can listen to anything you might have missed. It's the exact same show you're watching on YouTube every day, just as a podcast in audio form for you to make it nice and easy to take the show on the go. John writes in, I am totally out on Warren. Dude moves like a refrigerator. He's not an elite athlete. Okay, John, let me stop you there. Tyler Warren is absolutely an elite athlete. This guy played quarterback. This guy this year scored a touchdown, threw a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. The guy is a freak athlete. He was their tush-push guy. We don't need to denigrate Tyler Warren by saying he's not an elite athlete. He is.
He's of course he's an elite athlete. Is he worthy of a top 10 pick though? I don't think so. And that's, again, it's nothing wrong on Warren. It's the position he plays. And I really look at overall positional value when you're drafting in the top 10. Teams should be drafting either quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, or defensive line. On rare occasions, if there's a lockdown corner, you take them as well. Tight end, running back, linebacker, safety, those are positions that unless you have a guy that is a transcendent player, I don't really look at that. And I don't look at Warren as a transcendent player. I see him as a great athlete, a very good player, but is he along the Brock Bowers train? Definitely not. I think there's still a little bit of a gap between him and Bowers.
Look, to me, I understand your point. I just feel like if they view Warren as a can't-miss elite, he's so perfect for what they need offensively, and he's a good blocker, so he's going to help you in the running game too. So, like, I just think they could find a good tackle on day 2. I do.
And again, I want to preface, this is my opinion. If the Jets come out and say, we feel that he was right up there with Brock Bowers, well, okay, that is their thought. I'm not telling you what the Jets are thinking. I'm telling you what I'm thinking. But if the Jets come out and say, listen, Tyler Warren's a can't-miss prospect, he is, as this comment here says, he's the new Gronkowski, then that is that is their standard. That is what they thought, and they have the right to be able to make a pick and see how it goes. 20 days before the draft, however long it is, I still believe that the value of certain positions weighs more than other great players at other positions. I would prefer if Ashton Genty falls at 7 and Armand Membu is there at 7, that the Jets ignore Genty altogether and take the tackle, because I don't feel a running back is worth the 7th overall pick. That is just the overall value of what I've seen throughout the National Football League. Other teams may feel differently.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching the show live, make sure you click the like button and you're subscribed to the show. You never know when someone might gift a channel membership. We've had 5 so far, so make sure you stand by. You get ready to rumble here. Speaking of rumbles here, we've had a lot of those on the show the last few days. So if you want to rumble, you better bring it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Ryan says, Lane can't even spell Jets. Vote Kyle Clifton. I don't think that's true, Ryan. Okay.
The one thing I've learned, one thing I did see over the last couple of weeks is whoever called first of the 2 people competing ended up losing, because they essentially tried to make a case for themselves and they ended up losing. I find it very interesting to see what ends up happening there. If Clifton does call, would Lane respond in any particular way on today's show?
Well, Clifton is ready, and I believe he wants to make his case.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gusbuster Hotline's open, and when it's your day to compete, you go first. Kyle Clifton, hello, sir. How you feeling? Right now, I'm checking the scoreboard. You enter this phone call with a 53-47 lead over the Lane train.
How are you, Nick and Jake? Today is the day we break that first caller cycle. So, were you able to get in touch with Lane at all, Jake, or he's been radio silent?
Lane is currently radio silent right now.
Okay. That's maybe he's just laying in the weeds. He has tremendous popularity. You can't help but acknowledge that. But for me, I'm a guy who's been in Shea Stadium on a game day. I bring some humor to the show, sometimes in my calls, but more often in the chat or in the Patreon. I've displayed some generosity on the show. You said I might be trying to buy votes, but I'm really trying to buy one particular vote there, Beast Breakers, because everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man, as he well knows. So, I've been there at the last AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh when my beer was freezing over in the temporary seats that they put in for the Winter Classic for hockey. I was there at 41-0 for the Colts in the playoffs. Just nothing against Lane. His calls are very entertaining, but let's really look at what he's given us, right? Someone like Dixon Hall, we all know that we are trying to move away from celebrity quarterbacks, and this guy is without a doubt a ladies' man. We want somebody who is either in or they're out, and this guy is in and out all the time, Dixon Hall. So we've got to make a decision there. Somebody like Knoble, he's alone in a car with his estranged girlfriend. Why are they estranged? What are they doing crashing into people's homes? Was there a fight going on? How does Knoble treat women? This is the stuff our scouts need to know. Clyde Midia. the fan base burns for Clyde Media, but does Clyde Media burn to win? That's what I want to ask the Asmaniacs that are out there. So, I want to win. I think I'm Elite Eight worthy. I certainly don't begrudge people voting for Lane. He's a sweetheart, funny, and his calls are always entertaining. But I'm here every day. So, if the spirit moved you, vote for Kyle Clifton.
Ladies and gentlemen, a strong pitch from Kyle
Probably
Clifton.
the stronger pitch that I've heard of anyone that I've been on with this entire time. That was strong. I was very, very powerful.
52-48. Clifton leading the Lane train. Lane could be out there lurking. The thing with Lane is you never know when he's going to call in. You never know. So be ready, folks, because if he calls in, we will make sure we get Lane on the program right away. It's funny. V-Man didn't call in once during his matchup, and he won like 80-20. So, sometimes you could just dominate in silence. Honestly, I'll tell you what, Aaron Glenn would probably vote for Lane Train. He wants the Jets to move in silence. So far, the Lane Train has moved in silence.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like the people that have called first don't really end up being, aren't that successful. So has Mr. Clifton here, has he screwed himself in this matchup? That's something really to watch.
Hit the like button if you haven't. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're talking with Nick Faria and his weekly spot on the show. Look, Lane Train could be anywhere. Maybe he's getting ready to announce Dixon Hall at the draft.
The 27th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
Jay Question wrote it. Kyle puts me to sleep, but goddamn, I'm still voting for him. That's a great comment. Jay Question. Crappy with a super chat. If Lane Train doesn't win, then this whole thing is rigged. There's nothing rigged about it. It's up for people to vote. Mimosa checks in with a super chat. Vote Lane. Mimosa supporting the Lane Train. All right, more of your calls here on the show. Let's say hi to Indy Jets, who bought some merch yesterday. What's up, Indy?
What's going on, Jake? Nick, how are you guys doing?
How you doing?
Hey, we talked about all this hype that Brock Bowers brought towards Tyler Warren. And for that one comment of John or whoever it was that said Tyler Warren's not an athlete at all. I mean, that's a Gary take right there. I mean that's how ridiculous is that? I'm not a Warren guy, but Nick, you're buying into that hype too. I hear you overhyping. Well, look what Brock Bowers did, so we've got to put a little weight on to what. Tyler
no. I think you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not saying Tyler Warren should be the pick. I'm saying he's a good athlete, but nowhere near is he close to Brock Bowers.
No. But some of this Brock Bowers hype is getting bled over into this Tyler Warren, and people are overdrafting the guy. And okay, but Brock Bowers' numbers are completely overinflated also. And when you really dig into Brock Bowers, if he's on a good team, he doesn't get 700 yards. I mean, their leading rusher had 400 yards. He had as many catches in the fourth quarter, down by 2 scores, than he had in the entire first half of all the games. So, I mean, those were just a lot of garbage yards and a lot of garbage catches that were overinflated. If he's on a team with any kind of running back, with any kind of quarterback, and any kind of wide receiver, Brock Bowers is a 600-700 yard tight end.
But I think, Eddie, that kind of goes back to the original point that I've been making, where the tight end position, the value of a tight end, it's there, but it's not as important as an offensive lineman, as a quarterback, as a receiver, because it's just there's so many different things that have to come in to make a successful tight end. And Brock Bowers had a historically great rookie season. No one's taking that away from him. But the Jets made the right decision drafting Olu Fashanu over him.
100%.
Now they have their left tackle. They don't have to worry
And
about that anymore.
and again, we should turn around and do that again this year.
I agree.
Pass on the tight end and go with the other side of the line. I like that scenario of both of those tackles being there at 7, and that's our dilemma of which one of those two guys we have to pick.
It's a great problem to have, and I agree.
Yeah,
it's a great problem to have. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Giants will go best player available, and then the Patriots will wrap up Campbell. The question will be, if Shedeur Sanders falls at 7, the Jets are going to get some calls, whether it be from the Saints, whether it be from other teams. It's just, do you sort of open the conversation to drafting Shedeur Sanders, or do you try to trade back, pick up a couple extra picks if Sanders is going to fall all the way to 7, like he possibly could if the Giants don't take him?
Yeah, I think that if we don't fall back too far, I wouldn't accept anything less than a second, because I would rather take Mimbu at 7 and keep the pick. If we have to fall back to 10, 11, 12 and get a third, I don't think that's enough. I think I'd rather just keep the pick at 7 and take a Mimbu, or than to take a late third round pick. Now, if we were picking up a second round pick, then that might be worth it, because you could get another premium, maybe not a premium right tackle, but somebody, what's his name? Connery.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you took him at set with that extra second pick, then I could say, yeah, if you were drafting at 10 or 12 and Tyler Warren just happens to still be there, then you take Tyler Warren at 10 or 12 and you take a Connery or something with that second extra pick. And the combination of that then makes it worth having Tyler Warren.
Makes a lot more sense if you're trading back from 7, you're picking up a couple extra picks along the way. The Jets are in a prime spot. They're going to come away with a great player. The only question is who, which position, and did they have to trade back to get him?
Yeah, and now if Mason Graham's there, are you still trading back?
I think he's going to go to Jacksonville. From the conversations I've heard, I think Jacksonville is. There's going to be a lot of players that teams are going to be running up the table for, and I think Graham's one of them. Jacksonville's defense was awful last year.
So there's no chance he'll be there.
I don't think so. I mean, there's a possibility as always, but I don't think he'll be there.
Okay, but let's just say he is there. Are you still wanting to trade back? Are you saying, okay, Membu's gone, and we've got Graham sitting there, and you've got an offer to trade back a little bit. Do you take it, or do you just say, you know what, that's the guy that we've got to go after if he's there?
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for that just yet. I think that's kind of where the Jets are looking and saying, we've got a lot of options. We can take the tackle, we can take the defensive tackle, or we can trade back if Shedeur Sanders falls to us and essentially push a team like, I don't know, maybe even Pittsburgh to say, hey, we'll give you an extra first or something like that, just so we can get our quarterback of the future. There's a lot of interesting points here. A lot of interesting twists and turns that could be moved forward.
Trade him back. Give me the picks.
All right. Appreciate you guys.
Picks, Indy. You got it, Indy. Good call. Looking forward to seeing you at the draft party as well. I want picks, man. I'm still team trade back. This team has a lot of holes right now, and let's stack the roster.
There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks in the teens. I look at obviously the Saints at 9, probably the best bet. Pittsburgh at 21. I think an underrated team that you can look at, maybe the Cowboys. They always kind of zig when they shouldn't. And could Dallas try to trade up if Shedeur falls to 7? Try to essentially entice Deion Sanders eventually to come to the NFL? Maybe. And everything is on the table this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live right now, make sure you click the like button and make sure you vote, because we have a battle going on in ASMANIAC Madness. Kyle Clifton, 53. Lane Kerner, 47. Could we see another 1 seed go down in this great tournament, the greatest tournament in the history of entertainment and sports programming? Crappy says a vote for Lane is a vote for the moon landing. Darth Crypto endorsing the Lane train. Lane train. Choo choo. Bill Fawn writes in, Nick, I think the drop off between OT is greater than tight end. So that's why OT is the favorite at 7.
1,000%. The drop off between Campbell and Membu is greater. And you saw that last year as well. The last year they had the crux of the offensive tackles where it was Fashanu and it was Joe Alt, and then there was a little bit of a drop off into the second round. Kingsley Sumiata was a second round pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. Never really saw the field this past year as a developmental player. If you're taking a tackle in the first round, you're taking him because you know and feel that he can play right away. If you're taking one in the second or third round, you're taking him because you know he's probably going to need some time to develop accordingly and may need some time, may need some patience. The Jets could do that. I'm not saying they couldn't, but the plug-and-play right tackle to solidify the offensive line is far more enticing, in my opinion, than a starting tight end in the first round.
Nick Faria is our guest. If you have a question for him, write it in. We're also accepting more entries in the raffle. If you missed the announcement, here are the prizes. Super Bowl 3 is our theme. Signed Joe Namath, old school helmet. Signed Don Maynard helmet. Signed Coach Weeb Eubank helmet. That's awesome. Signed, added this yesterday, Emerson Boozer helmet. Old school looking helmet, by the way. Also the signed and framed Don Maynard photo and a replica Super Bowl 3 Joe Namath ring. Those are the 6 prizes for this week's raffle. And we will likely do that raffle Monday morning. So we'll give you guys a chance on the shows this weekend to still enter, because I know a lot of people can't watch the show live, and maybe on the weekends they can. So we'll extend it a little bit for those of you out there. Crappy writes in, Lane, we choo you. Hashtag Team Lane Train. Crappy, are you on the Lane Train payroll? This is 1, 2, 3 super chats, all endorsing Lane Train. That is $15 spent for the good name of Lane Kerner.
I believe on my bracket I did have Kyle upsetting him, so I'm interested to see what happens.
Nick, I don't know if you remember this, but you were a part of a classic Lane Train call. This had to have been like holiday season. It might have been like New Year's Day, like a year ago. Like Lane was still kind of becoming like the phenomenon that he was. Let me see if I have this here. But
I'm trying to remember, and I can't. I was probably up north in Lake Placid with my in-laws. We all went on a trip for New Year's. I remember something along the lines of some caller made me laugh so hard that I was crying, and I can't remember. But I can't remember what was said.
It might have been. Hold on, it might have been this.
More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 2024, we are all aboard. Choo-choo, the Lane Train. Hello, Lane. Happy New Year.
So I had a nice beer last night, and then, yeah, so it was nice. Who do you think will make it to the NFC Championship game? Do you have the Dolphins or do you have the Broncos make it this year?
I think you mean
the Jets are not going to make it.
No, they're not.
That's terrible. Yeah, Quinn Williams, Bruce Hall, and who's number 55 on the Jets also?
I don't know.
Do you think Hackett would take the job going into next year if Zala will not stay? He stinks. I mean, how do you feel?
Lane, thank you for the call. A lot there, Nick. Is there anything that stood out that you want to respond to? Do you think the Dolphins are going to play the Broncos in the NFC title game? Real quick, your thoughts on the Jets' best player on Thursday, running back Bruce Hall.
He's a great player, man. Give me Bruce Hall, 100%.
What a call by Lane. The Lane trade, man.
I know what it was. I just remembered. It was Gator's video with Allen and a couple other people, because he like jumped on the show pretending it was like it was the fake Asman show. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Because I was trying to remember, and I'm like, there was something that I just could not stop laughing about.
Welcome to the ASMANIAC universe, Nick. We love
beautiful. It's a beautiful universe.
Hit the like button, comments, questions, your super chats. We'll continue to cut the line. Good question here from Duncan, who writes in, any concerns with Membu's relatively young age and lack of experience? I actually think that is probably a good thing, right? This guy's dominating at age 20. He's going to continue to get bigger and stronger, grow into his body. That to me is a plus.
And the same case for Mason Taylor as well. I believe Mason Taylor is 20 years old as well. Imagine double dipping first and second round with two 20-year-olds that you are going to have for the foreseeable future. I mean, that's fantastic. That's what you want to look for in the draft. I'm not so worried about his age and lack of experience, because if you trust your coaching staff enough, you should be able to develop a player at a very high level. They would draft Membu for his upside. His upside, I do believe, is greater than Will Campbell's, even though his floor is a little bit lower. But that would essentially be why the Jets would take him over someone like Campbell.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep writing in any draft-related questions or comments for us to answer. We're hanging out with Nick Faria here. We got another 10 minutes or so with Nick. Yesterday on the show, this guy called in from the Dominican Republic to help engineer a victory in the Sweet 16. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to this guy. I think that guy.
I know, right?
Hello, Neil.
I'm here with Lowski. Hey, J-E-T-S. J-E-T-E-S. Jet. Lowski. I got Lowski here. Yeah, baby. That's it. I started my Dominican chapter of the New York Jets. I'm not going back to the United States. I'm officially declaring residency here. And I'm going to be, instead of Australian Jet, I'm going to be Dominican Jet. And what's up there, Philly Faria?
How you doing?
What are you doing? All right. Hey, listen, if I was any better, I'd be you, Philly. Because you won a Super Bowl this year, and we're still sucking wind over here with this team. Am I coming in? Am I going in and out here with that?
You just went into some random black guy who did a Jet chant and said it's
Hold
King
on.
Lusky.
You there?
Yes, I'm here, Neil. I'm here, Neil.
You hear me?
I'm here, Neil. Yes.
Anyway, we got to go with Membu. He's from Dominican Republic, they're telling me.
What?
They said we got to go with Membu, the guy. King
You want
Lowski said
Membu?
we have to go with Membu.
Yes.
King Lowski. It's not King Lowski.
He looks just like King Lowski, doesn't he, though? He reminds me of King Lowski. The King.
Oh, God.
My boy. Well, I just want to say, I don't care what we do in the draft. I'm excited for the season. And I want to thank everybody yesterday for their vote. And we're on to me and my hero, Peter Castorini. And we're going to get a bunch of cannolis. I'm handing out a cannoli for everybody that votes for me. We got a cannoli and a trip to the Dominican Republic for every vote on the private jet. Okay? So I don't want to buy votes, but that's my offer. No, I'm only kidding. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Go
Neil.
Jets. Let's go.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Neil. Just.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. I don't know which was more surprising. The fact that he just brought some random dude over who kept chanting Jake while he was trying to get a Jets chant going. Wow. That was incredible.
Neil had to have been hammered there, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yep. That was unbelievable. Well, that's Neil. Now,
Jake, apology. I think I do have to go off of that one, though. Well, wife's got to leave in a little bit. She's got to use the apartment.
All good. Nick, appreciate you as always for hopping on.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria. Make sure you guys read his work over at jetsxfactor.com. Neil, you're getting hammered in the chat. All right. What a call that was. Oh, jeez. Anyway, just another Friday on the show. Dominican Republic Neil. For those of you who missed his call yesterday, he pulled out all the stops. All right, I will stay on. We got a bunch of people on hold who want to talk Jets or ASMANIAC Madness. Quick update on the poll here in our Sweet 16 matchup that is well underway between Clifton and the Lane Train. 52-48. This is still close. If anyone knows how to get a hold of Lane, tell him a call could possibly complete the comeback here. I don't know. That's the question. Or is Clifton going to take this all the way? More calls right now. Let's say hi to the Australian Jet fan. Hello, Australian Jet fan.
Hi Jake, how you doing?
Living the dream.
Yeah, sounds great. So obviously massive matchup tonight. I will be backing Craig. I will definitely call in again to back Craig. Obviously I've become quite a big fan of the show, although I have missed the past couple of Saturday shows because being the teenager I am, I've been out drinking at the bar. But tomorrow I'm gonna try and call from the bar because Asmania comes first.
I love it.
I'll see you tonight and tomorrow. Have a good one.
Australian Jet fan, short and sweet. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he is in action this afternoon against Craig in Australia. It could be a battle where the winner might have a path to the Final Four. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter. Yeah, ladies, you can do what music.
What's up, Jay? Can you hear me okay?
We hear you.
Okay. I'm at the airport. I wanted to call in quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to call in later. So I wanted to remind everyone to come on the afternoon show and remember to vote for me. Because Craig's going to vote for me. And who am I to argue with Craig? So remember to vote for me. I'm giving you guys a lot. I'm giving you guys a lot to argue about. I get underneath Jake's skin like nobody else. And that's entertaining for it. You would admit that, wouldn't you?
I don't know if you're you get under my skin more than anyone else. I don't know if that's true, but you do get under my skin from time to time.
I don't even think there's a close second. I mean of callers, of all the callers. I don't mean like some ex-girlfriend who gets underneath your skin. I mean of the callers. No one gets underneath your skin like I do.
What about JJ or Alan when he would call?
Yeah, but you just don't like Alan. JJ maybe, but you just don't like Alan. You know, that's different. But Alan calls in intentionally to get underneath your skin.
Well, now he doesn't call in anymore.
He doesn't call in anymore. It's in the chat, though. What's up, Alan?
Yeah, what a retirement that is. I can't call in because of his job. I could chat away.
Well, I think he can't have his face on screen. I think that's their rule. I think. I don't know. That's a question for Alan. So, on to the draft real quick.
How's the airport, by the way?
It's an airport. I'm going to go. I got like 2 hours until the weigh-in. No, I don't. I have like 3 hours. So I got to go figure somewhere to be. I can't check into my hotel room yet. So I got to figure out somewhere to be for the next 2 hours at least.
You landed in Vegas already?
I'm in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas.
Oh.
Vegas.
Yeah. Dude, you're in Vegas. Go post up at a sports book and hang out.
Yeah, it's 8:30. It's 8:15 in the morning. 8:14 in the morning.
Go play some blackjack. They're open.
Yeah, casinos are rough for me. I can't because of my epilepsy. Seizures are casinos are not good for me.
Like, where are you staying?
I'm staying at a friend's house. I can't stay in casinos. I'll have a seizure. Like the lights, the ching 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 ching.
I was gonna say I'd make a call for you to go to Circa at Stadium Swimming. You'd sit by the pool.
I got a friend. I'm staying in his condo. He's got like an extra bedroom, so I'm staying with him. Yeah, casinos are bad for me. I can't stay in casinos. Shoot, I totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, vote for me. I don't know if I'll be able to call in. If I can call in from the weigh-in, I may do that. But remember to vote for me. I've given you guys a lot. I give you guys Brock Bowers, and that's the other thing. I'm not even against drafting Tyler Warren. It's fine, but don't think you're getting Brock Bowers. That was a once-in-a-generation type deal. That's gone. There was an IQ test. JD failed it. We're on to the next. Like, I'm not saying Tyler Warren can't be good. He could be good. Don't expect him to be Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers was so good.
Are you sure he failed it?
People thought of the position. He totally changed the way people value the position.
You don't like Olu Fashanu?
I like him fine. He's good. So far, so good. He's a good player.
So I think it worked out for both teams. Is that possible?
It's like the Kerry Kittles or Kobe Bryant thing. Was Kerry Kittles a good net? Yeah, he helped take him to 2 finals.
How do you know that?
On the board.
What if Olu Fashanu ends up being a multi-time Pro Bowl left tackle?
If he becomes like D-Brick, like that level of player,
yeah,
it's a great pick. But what are the odds of? Look, D-Brick was phenomenal. D-Brick's not in the Hall of Fame, right? But he probably should be. He's borderline guy. Like, he's on the ballot. The odds of that are small for anyone. Slim. I mean, Like when we got Sauce Gardner, people were saying like maybe he's the next Reeves. Like, can we just have the expectation? And I love Sauce, but like, can we chill on that? Like, look who you're comparing him to. Olu so far so good. He's played 6-7 games. He's looked good. I don't have any complaints about the pick other than what you left on the board. Olu is a good player for sure.
What are your thoughts on the Kyle Clifton Lane Train matchup, Gary?
This is a tough one. I like both callers. If you're at a bar and Kyle Clifton's next to you, you got someone to talk football with. If your wife takes you to a stupid event where you don't know anyone there and she introduces you to Kyle Clifton, you've got someone to talk ball with. He can talk shop. That's why I voted for Kyle Clifton. It wasn't easy, but I voted for Kyle Clifton because he's better at talking shop.
What about the Lane Train fans out there? Who?
Lane, but Kyle Clifton's better at talking shop. What was that?
I'm just saying that you don't think you could talk ball with Lane?
It's too far over my head. He finds Dixon Hall and Knoble. It's over my head. I'm not at his level. Kyle Clifton's more of an everyman's fan.
I see. It's a fair breakdown.
Yeah. Well, you can't vote, obviously, right?
Nope. I can't vote.
I didn't get a 1 seed. If this holds up, is Kyle still winning?
Kyle currently is leading 51-49 right now. This is tight.
If he holds on, all the 1 seeds are gone by the Sweet 16.
Also, Gary, Oregon Jets thinks that he caught you in a lie here. He says, so you're staying at a friend's house, but you can't check in.
Well, I got a hotel, but I can't check in there. They got me a hotel, but I can't really stay. I could stay in a hotel, but I don't want to have a seizure. So I'm staying at a friend's house.
I see.
I have a hotel, but I can stay there, and I may check in, but I'm not spending the 2 nights there because I'll have a seizure.
Why wouldn't you just go to, like, I don't know. You know, Gary, I'm not going to try and get inside your mind. You have a heck of a day, though.
What was that?
I said you have a heck of a day.
Okay.
It's a big one for you today. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you.
Good?
I think we're great. I'm excited for you versus Craig today.
Okay.
Craig is going to box a kangaroo on the air today.
Who do you got, Craig or the kangaroo?
I'm taking Craig.
They say kangaroos can box. I've never seen one, so I'm going to hold out on that. They say that they can box, right? That's what they say.
Is that what they? I don't know. You're the boxing guys. By the way, a couple people have asked for footage of you boxing. I think you should pull that out at some point here.
What was that?
People have asked for video of you boxing. I think you should send some footage and we can play it on the show.
I'm going to take my footage and then have Gator chop it up and destroy it. That's what I'm going to do with my footage. That's what I'm going to do.
What do you mean chop it up? I said I'll play it. There's Gator's not involved in this.
And then Gator's not going to do anything with it.
Well, I can't speak for Gator, but at least what you send me. Hold on.
My career for Gator to make fun of.
Yeah, but what you send me, I will play unedited on the show.
And then Gator will get it and chop it up.
And probably have some fun with it, yes, but not necessarily. But like people will know that's him having fun with it. We're talking about your raw, unedited boxing footage. You know, people could see what the 3D boxing is all about.
Yeah, and then Gator can chop it up. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. You can probably find it on the internet. I'm sure there's some stuff floating around.
Why are you so afraid of Gator?
I'm not. I'm just not going to have him make a mockery of my work.
He'll make it better. He says he'll put butter on it.
There you go. Butter does make everything better, Gator. Butter does make everything better.
It's true. It's true.
All right. I think. Remember, vote for me. I'll be live. I'll be on tonight. This afternoon, whatever, against Craig. And Craig's voting for me. So be like Craig and vote for me.
I don't think he's going to vote for you.
He said he's voting for me. That's what he told me.
I don't believe it.
I'm skeptical too, but I'll take him at his word.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs.
Man, that's a battle this afternoon, folks. That is a battle. Tommy's The legend of Gary's boxing career must be protected. It's true. Darth Crypto, the Dominican Poppy, LOL, in reference to Neil's call. Mr. Downtown, Warren is S tier. The Jets need players the team needs to game plan against. Tight end class is deep, but the next level of tight ends are B tier. What does S tier mean? Is that like superstar tier? Someone in the chat explain that. Is that superstar? I'm assuming. You know what they say about assuming. You make an Asman out of you and me, so I just want to get that right. More of your calls right now. Jetaholic is next. Hey, Jetaholic.
Hey, Jake. How are we doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, I just want to say, honestly, I think Neil's going to end up winning the whole thing.
He might.
His aura was through the roof on that call from the Dominican.
You can't deny Neil's entertainment value. I think King Lowski is right there with him. I think the lovability factor of a guy like Ricky and Kyle Clifton and Bonesy is going to play well. It's tough to really decipher how this is going to play out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's been a pretty fun and special tournament. Like, I would have never imagined it going this way. Like I told you before, I had Mikey going all the way. I did not see him going out so quick. Like, it's been pretty crazy.
Mikey was my pick to win the whole thing as well.
But honestly, I've kind of been to get back to the Jets, I've kind of been a Warren warrior, but the idea of Membu is honestly growing on me. I do like the idea of solidifying the offensive line and, you know, really being beasts up front, especially with how our offense is going to be. I mean, I'd still be excited for Warren, but I'm totally fine with them taking Membu. Campbell does worry me a little bit just because of the arm length. I know some people say it's not a big deal, but I think I'd rather Membu at that spot. What are your thoughts on that?
I like I think I would probably go Membu because he's a surefire like right tackle, and they have a left tackle. If they didn't have a left tackle, if it's a different set of circumstances, it's probably more open to Campbell because then you can play him anywhere. He's kind of like AVT in that regard. But yeah. I think Membu makes sense because Olu's your bookend left tackle. Like Olu Fascia would be the best tackle in this class if he was a part of it, like without question. So take Membu, put him at right tackle, and you're set there. If that's the direction they go. Yeah,
I agree, and I wanted Olu last year. I mean, I did like the idea of Bowers, but I knew offensive line was more important, especially with Rodgers getting hurt the year before and our offensive line being shaky. So I think we made the right pick last year, which, like you've been saying, it kind of makes more sense if they do want to go tight end at 7 this year with Tyler Warren.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a deep tight end class, so they don't do it in round 1. I'd imagine round 2, round 3, certainly in play for a tight end.
Yeah, I'd be fine with one of the middle round guys too. Definitely got to grab a receiver too. Also, I wanted to ask you, now that we're getting closer to the draft, are you more of a Dixon Hall or Clyde Midia guy at this point?
I think I'm a Dixon Hall guy, man. I mean, I was a big believer in Knoble last year after Lane discovered him. So I think at this stage, Jetaholic, I'm a Dixon Hall guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to Jetaholic? Hold on, there he is.
Oh, I was like, oh, damn. All right. I just started talking. I'm like, oh, shit, wait. But I was going to say, yeah, I'm a Dixon Hole guy at this point, too. But if they want to go Clyde Midia, I mean, he seems to spread around, pretty easily. But, fine with either. Anyways, have a good day, Jake. Thanks for taking my call.
Good call, Jetaholic. Appreciate you tuning in and supporting the show. Yeah, I mean, look, Lane's track record with scouting prospects, I mean, speaks for itself.
Hello, Jake.
Hey, Lane. How are you?
Great. Do you see the Jets possibly drafting, was it Dixon?
Dixon?
Yeah.
Who's Dixon?
He's out of college. Dixon Hall.
I'm actually not familiar with Dixon Hall. What position does he play?
QB.
So Dixon Hall, quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dixon Hall would be a good pick by the Jets?
Yeah.
I'm going to look into Dixon Hall, but your scouting acumen speaks for itself. All right, Dixon Hall to the Jets. Let's start the campaign, people.
Dixon Hall. It's almost like Knoble.
Yeah, but Knoble ended up being a great find by you. You were ahead of the curve.
Well, I did find that he got into an accident with his estranged girlfriend.
That's right.
I'm going into a house. He's alive. The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader? Like, I know every player. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
To the late trade. Unreal. Unreal. That's what Kyle Clifton's up against, but I'll tell you what, he is battling, folks. He leads the lane train 51-49, our only one seed left in the tournament, a testament to the greatness of Clifton. All right, we got a super chat from Daniel. Yates has Allen taking Dixon Hole in his mock. Bo with a super chat. I don't want just a blocker. Why wouldn't we want a weapon who's also an elite blocker? I think that's the appeal of Warren, right? He helps you in two areas that were huge issues for this team. Run blocking. He's also just a good blocker, so if you need to leave him in pass protection, you can in certain scenarios. And he's a weapon. I mean, look at the amount of times Fields targets tight ends in his career. So I see the argument. I also see the argument of you just take the tackle and you get the tight end in round 2. I get it. Brandon writes in, Clyde Midia DT goes right up the middle consistently. That he does. That he does. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people want to know the answer to the question. Who is Beastbreaker voting for? Him and Kyle Clifton have gotten into it over the years. I don't know. And by over the years, really over the months. I think Beast has only started calling the show at the end of December. And we know that obviously Beastbreaker is very polarizing. So I'm curious where he's at in this competition here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's ask him.
Beastbreaker.
Playing a little hockey there, Jake. It's you know what season it is? It's playoff time. And April means a lot of great things for playoffs. We might see some surprises. We might see a 4th number 1 player go. You know what that meant by? You never know what's going to happen just yet. But we will wait and see. I kind of see Kyle Clifton going up this way, and maybe Lane maybe taking another detour to another track. But we'll find out soon enough.
It's 50-50 right now, Beast.
Ooh, now you're really pushing the buttons a little hard. Ooh, if I was a betting man right now and I win the lottery, ooh, I'd have to give $1 million to Kyle Clifton because he was a former New York Jet. I can't take nothing away from him. You know, but nevertheless, whoever wins this fight, let's see where it goes from here. Let's just see where it goes. Because you know what? Let's see how the fight turns out. But you know what? In the end, you know, we'll all shake hands and we'll all think of it 20 years from now. Hey, this is a great ASMANIAC. So, some win, some lose. It's like a game of poker. You know, when you get a 5-card hand and you don't get lucky, oh well, you fold. Oh well. You know what else is new? So today, I'm going to be going today. I'm going out to the suburbs. I'm going right out to the suburbs this afternoon and go out and enjoy a little couple hours with. You know, I already got my shave. I'm going to go get my teeth cleaned up and get in the shower, look a little handsome, and then get a nice look going.
When was the last time you showered, Beast?
Yesterday. I was out by Menards yesterday. Oh, I got a chance to talk to Cole Thompson yesterday from ESPN. Funny guy. I like the guy. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he told me that you requested him on Instagram and have been messaging him nonstop.
Yeah. Well, I found the video of me doing, the punching and the kickboxing. I went, oh, yeah, that was hilarious. I got to give Gator one hell of credit for that. And I'll tell you what, 30 years from now, when I look at that video, everyone's going to be like, what the hell are you thinking? I'm like, hey, MMA, it was good it's good in its heyday. It's still good to this day. Jiu-Jitsu is also another form of MMA. But let me just say this for everybody. We're not trading Brees still. We're not. If we're stupid to trade Brees, then you know what I get to say to all of that? This right here.
Now we can't see you, Beast. You look like a ghost.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll be looking like because our team's going to be shit without Brees Hall. If we lose Brees Hall, what the hell are we going to have? Who are we going to depend on? Wilson? Who are
Hey,
gonna,
Beast.
Seriously, who are you going to depend on?
Give us some jujitsu.
You mean a little hard stomping,
Breaker 666 $50 will send his ass to the hole where there's no gabagool.
Beast, thank you very much. I don't know if he gave us endorsement one way or the other there, but it has swung back towards the Lane train for the first time today. 52-48, Lane Kerner leading Kyle Clifton. Almost 500 votes have been cast. This is truly anyone's ball game. Bo C has gifted 10 memberships. Bo with a chance to win any of our 6 prizes in the ASMANIAC raffle, which is projected to be on Monday. Signed Joe Namath helmet. Signed Don Maynard helmet. Signed Weeb Eubank helmet. Signed Emerson Boozer helmet. Signed Don Maynard photo or a replica Super Bowl III ring. Bo, you are the man. This is for you. Vibrant Hire, Chef Jets fan, Michael Reptar, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm No Siegel, Daniel Ruth, Thomas Doyle, Adam Bolong, Smitty PA, Kurt Gray, all receiving channel memberships there from Bo. Love it. Thank you very much, Bo. You're the man. Appreciate your support. Let me check back in with Kyle Clifton now, shall we? We heard from him at the beginning of the show. He's on hold. He can maybe make another pitch to those of you just joining in late that he deserves your vote. Kyle, how are we feeling? You're currently down. I'm going to check it entering this call here. 52-48 against the Lane train. 484 votes have been cast.
Yeah, it's a little disheartening. I thought I was on the road to victory there for a minute, but I guess there's still some time left. All I can do is be who I am, and I understand that Lane has his adherents, and I'm going to be here every day regardless. And I've been enjoying the tournament, and it's just been a great time and tremendous fun.
Kyle, you've been a great caller for a long time. It's just one of those things where people love the Lane train, and that's what you're battling.
Oh, it's hard to argue with it, but I'm hoping that the most ardent Jet fans can recognize what I bring to the show, and maybe in the last 45 minutes or so bring me back over the top.
No doubt. Kyle, great call. Let's see how he does down the home stretch here. Ladies and gentlemen, Thunderlips is on the line. I'm rocking the shirt he sent me last week or 2 weeks ago. What's up, Thunderlips?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, man?
I feel so out of the loop, man. I haven't watched a full show. I keep on catching bits and pieces because of work, but I'm going to Outer Banks, North Carolina for a baseball tournament the whole weekend, just me and my 13-year-old.
That's awesome. You guys are going to have a great time.
Oh, yeah. I know. The hotel's right on the beach with a fishing pier. We're going to go fishing and shit like that. But I did have a Jets question for you for the draft. I was listening to something else this morning, and they're talking about the positions for the rookie wage scale. So I don't know if you already talked about it. I'm sorry, but so for tight end, if you're drafting them at 7 and you're paying them basically $7 million a year, and the top tight end right now, I didn't look at Trey McBride's contract, but what is it, around 11 or 12 a year? So you're only saving if the tight end turns out to be the top one, you're only saving maybe 4 or 5 million, but with receiver, the top dude's 20 something million a year, right? So you getting such a discount drafting a wide receiver at that position and only having to pay him $7 million a year. I didn't know if you had like thoughts on that. And like, I still want Warren. I mean, take the player that you
He
want.
got
and what you
19
need.
million per year. 19.
Oh, who did? Trey McBride?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, how you doing then? Let's go. But yeah, I mean, like it is. I mean, but it is. I mean, just for like positional value and stuff like that for your contract. You know what I mean?
For sure. But if the guy's great, you'll be happy to pay him. You know that?
For sure. But all right, dude. I voted for both. Contestants today. They bring, I think, value in different ways. They're both awesome. But I voted for Kyle. Because my bracket's actually fucked and I want to screw everybody else because misery loves company. But also he's like strictly football and talks Jets like all the time. And, and Lane brings just entertainment value too. But it's like everyone's chill,
I love it. Look, it's fair. It's all the beauty's in the in the eye of the Asmaniac voter. That's how I look at it. Good call, Thunderlips. Hey, Peter Castro gifted 10 channel memberships.
Oh, shit.
That's one of my favorite videos. It really is. Here we go. These are from Peter. He's in the raffle for 10 more. Anthony Logarato, Spin Max, Blazin' Marley, Ryan Takach, Jay Brown, Adam HW, Kai Way, Lane Gretzky, any relation to Lane Kerner, Robert Walsh, and Colin Richards, all receiving memberships there from Peter Castro. It remains close in Asmaniac Madness, 52-48. Kyle Clifton is trying to get someone to vote for him who got the membership that he just gifted. It went to listener Gio Sanchez. Gio, you better vote Clifton. He just gifted you a membership. All right, more calls right now. It's getting close here. Our King is on the line. King, Neil says you were in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, Jake, my brother, a little baby told me that Neil better get his drunk ass together before he fall off a damn cliff or end up in something he ain't supposed to end up in. I don't know what the hell that motherfucker been drinking, but let me tell you something, Neil. Get your drunk ass together, son. You with the wrong motherfucker, you heard? But let me just say this, baby. At the end of the day, baby, Neil know I love him. He know I love him. It's just tough love, baby. Get your drunk ass together, Neil. Let me just say this, baby. The direction we taking with this draft, man. I like the smoke screens that's being put out there. I like the names that's being put out there. But I don't want to get too cute with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we get homegrown players that want to be about winning for the Jets, okay? I don't want to get no prima donnas. I don't want to get no guys that think they can play one position and against playing another, okay? Make sure you get some homegrown guys that want to play for the New York Jets, okay? I just jumped on here to say that, Jake, and Neil, get your ass together, son, all right? Because it's $40 down there and you got a wife, so get your shit together, all right? Just.
Well said by the King. The passion, the energy. Amazing. Who tipped off Lowski? That's great. Who let him know? Someone out there did. And we're grateful for that because that was epic. Please hit the like button if you haven't. I don't know why you wouldn't at this point. I mean, where else are you getting that type of energy on April 4th on a Jet YouTube show? Anyway. I'm excited for that Lowski battle against the big fella. You talk about total opposites in personality. Big fella is chill, calm. It's always laying on his bed. King Lowski's going to give you that. Oh, man. Let's see. Poll update. Lane starting to pull away, man. I really thought Clifton had him on the ropes, but the Lane train votes are coming in. 53-47. Lane up. At one point, I think it was 53-47 Clifton. But look, it's a long show. We know Lane's got a lot of supporters out there. And this could come down to the wire. Anthony with a super chat. He cuts the line. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Peter Castro. I have finally become a member. Jake, thanks for having the greatest show on YouTube. Anthony, appreciate your support. Looking forward to meeting you at the draft party. I mean, the show is only successful because of the people in the chat and the people that call in. And that's it. I mean, the show would be 15, 30 minutes max once a day if it wasn't for the callers. You know? Let's have a guest on. We'd run out of questions to ask the guest, and we'd move on. The show is a show because of how interactive it is. And it's a show about the Jets and the lives of Jet fans. Like a little 90s Stern thrown in for all you Stern fans out there. Eric is up next. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Jake. So I had a question about the draft party. I did get a ticket, but I was wondering, is it possible to upgrade to a table after you bought a ticket already, or?
Yes, it is. Reach out to me. Get the ticket, and then I could refund the money for the ticket that you got. Just send me an email with all the info, and I'll make sure that I can get you the refunded for the. You bought a general admission ticket, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I got a general admission ticket, and I'm trying to get my girlfriend to come, but the only way to do that is if I get a table. So, you know,
the tables fit either 4 or 5, so I'd recommend bringing 2.
Yeah, I would try to get some other people to come too. But if she's willing to come, that's the main thing. Then I'll get it. She's not a football fan, so.
We'll get her there. Don't worry. There'll be plenty of wives and girlfriends there for non-Jet people.
That's what I'm trying to sell to her.
I love it. That's awesome.
And then I voted for Lane Train in this tournament because I think Kyle Clifton's the more consistent, better caller. But I think you're seeing all the OGs win because they help shape the show to what it is today. So just for this first tournament, I think you're going to see them do really well. And then, next one, we'll see more of the consistent callers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do wonder if this is just a one-off with the OGs doing well, or is it going to be a theme? But here's the thing. A lot of the people who are new, they won't be new at this time a year ago. June the GM, for example, he wouldn't be a newer caller. Beastbreaker wouldn't be a newer caller. David T wouldn't be a newer caller if this tournament was a year from now,
Yeah, well, I think Lane's original, Knoble call almost helped shape the show to what it is, as far as the silliness and the fan interaction and stuff. So you see guys like V-Man, just sleeping and playing guitar and stuff at the original days, and now that's what sticks with your memory.
Yeah, I think you're right, and and to your point, we've seen the OGs dominate here, so it certainly has helped.
All right, well, thanks. I'm going to email you after this. I'll let you know what's going on.
You got it, Eric.
Thanks a lot.
We'll take care of that for you. Just let me know. That's awesome. Yeah, people, we still got tables left if you have a group. So I'd recommend you get a table. If you know you're going to go with 4 or 5 people, I recommend you get a table, guaranteed spot the whole night. We have tables for general admission, but it's first come, first serve. So if you want a guaranteed spot for your group, reserve a table online. JT opines on the ASMANIAC Madness matchup. It's tough. Well, Kyle's one of the callers with the best points. You get the entertainment value with the train. It's true. It's really a battle of, do you want the consistency, the rational thought, the dedication to the Jets, or do you want the hilarity of Lane? Everyone is apparently saying our last caller, Eric, looked like the Punisher. Seeing all the comments now. Let's take a look at the standings here, folks. 52-48, Lane leading here. It ain't over yet. I do got some open phone lines. I see Gary standing by at the airport. Gary, you're the only person I know who could go to Vegas and not go anywhere to enjoy Vegas. You just sit at the airport.
It's 8:45 in the morning. I got to figure out where to go. That's what I'm trying to figure out on my phone now. Where am I going at 8:45 in the morning? I got from 8:45 till 12, so I can get there probably a half hour early.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, what to do with the next 3 hours?
Go to hash a go whatever, the famous breakfast place at the I stayed there once.
Hash a go.
Yeah, go get some breakfast.
All right.
Hold on. Hash.
I got it right here. Is it?
It's at the link. Yeah, it's at the link.
353. I got it.
Yep.
Okay, I got it. All right.
You'll love it.
Hash a go. All right.
You're gonna have to break your diet, but they do have a lot of butter you can put on your pancakes or waffles. Enjoy it. People are saying you can go to the strip club as well.
Don't go to strip clubs. I hate Vegas. Like it's a toilet of a city. I don't like Vegas.
You hate Vegas, but you cover boxing for a living.
I gotta go there, right? Like this, it's unavoidable. I don't like Vegas.
Oscar says you should ask the fighters at the press conference if they believe in a cheap.
Is that a good question? Go eat steak and roll. I like Sluggos. I'll buy a homeless guy breakfast. I'll do that, Sluggo. I like that idea.
Go to the Cosmopolitan and go to the breakfast buffet they have there.
Everything, the hotel and everything is at the Palms. Do you know where that is off the top of your head?
I don't. Is that on the strip?
Yeah. I'll figure it out. You guys are at strip clubs. Stay away from strip clubs. They're degenerate. Like, would you want your daughter to be a stripper? Don't encourage anyone else's daughter to be a stripper either. Stay away from strip clubs.
How are you encouraging other? How is you attending a strip club? To be fair to those in the chat suggesting this, how is that encouraging anyone to be a stripper?
No one went to strip clubs and no one gave the strippers any money, there would be no strippers.
Yeah, but you personally going there now.
You're only one man. You can only do what you're called to do. You can't control anyone else, but you can control yourself. You're not encouraging people to be a stripper because you're not going. You're not contributing to the degenerate society. Don't go to strip clubs.
I don't know about that one.
I've been to my share of strip clubs.
You dated a stripper.
Degenerate places. What'd you say?
I said you dated a stripper.
I wouldn't say dated. I had a fling with a stripper.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that either.
Okay.
I did a lot of things I wouldn't recommend. My younger self did a lot of things I wouldn't recommend.
Peter Castro wants to know, does Gary ever work?
I try not to, Peter Castro. I try not to. I work about 15 hours a day. Yeah, Peter Castro, I work. I don't sleep, but I do work. Yeah, Palms Resort and Casino, Oscar.
So you didn't date the stripper, but you were engaged for 2 nights, according to Nate?
I wasn't in. Okay, so I told my mom on April Fool's that the stripper was pregnant. Okay, her name's Natalia. Just so there's no confusion. Natalia, the stripper, was pregnant as an April Fool's joke. But my mom got so happy that I was getting engaged that she actually cried tears of happiness. So then it was like, no, I'm joking, Mom. This was supposed to get you. Like, you weren't supposed to be happy about this. You were supposed to freak out that I got a random stripper pregnant. But it didn't. It was the all-time backfire of an April Fool's joke. I thought my mom was going to freak out, but instead she was happy. It was that I had to explain to her that it wasn't real. My mom met the stripper once. There's a whole story.
Derek says, and you're wearing her name on your shirt.
It's Italian. Her name was Natalia. Natalia.
Close enough.
Close enough. Fair enough.
Beastbreaker says that fruits and vegetables are good for you. You should enjoy life.
There's nothing that you can get in fruits and vegetables that you can get in meat. So just eat the meat that you need. There's nothing in fruits and vegetables that you need that you.
I don't know. When it comes to health and fitness, am I supposed to trust you over Beastbreaker?
The evidence is on the screen.
What evidence?
Exactly.
I don't see any evidence.
You could put. He moves.
Are
pretty well for a
you
fat- oh, there it is.
serious?
You do move.
Are
pretty well
you
for a fat guy.
serious?
I'm surprised that you moved that well. I thought you couldn't get out of bed.
I am 258 pounds of muscle, son. Just a minute. Let's run it down here. I've actually have been looking good, feeling good, except for the muscles. Sure, I might not have a daughter right now, but the time's gonna tell when the time is right. Vegetables are supposed to be good for you. They're healthy for you. That's why. Look at this gun. Look at all that gun control, Kerry. Look at all that. You see all this? This is all gun control. See, you got to learn to get some meat someone on that muscles, man. Come on. You look at the likes of Hogan and Savage and Ultimate Warrior and Sting. Those were men with muscles. Even the Road Warriors will even have an example for you. Come on, man. Get some muscles in you. Purple Bell Mike. Hey, PBM. I look very good. I'm looking very great. So let me just say this. Do your thing, and I'll do my thing. Okay, yo? Now, Gary, let me just run it by you. Fruits and vegetables are both great. I'm sorry, I'm not taking my shirt off. It's called, I'm going to keep it professional here and honest and modest. See, I like to keep it appropriate. Phantom Green and G and White. You don't know shit from Shinola. I'm 258. My doctors have already told me that. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Tom Ace, let me just run it by you. If you want some of these, you got to have fruits. You got to have veggies. You also have to have vitamins A, B, C, D. That's also good. See, it's healthy for you. See, if you take it wisely and you do it professionally, you'll go somewhere in real life. Richard Clark, I'm sorry to tell you, you're as incomplete as bad data. So take a walk, son. 3 siblings. I'm gonna run it by you. I'm 5'8". I look good. I'm great. I feel good. Positive is the best, not negative. Hey, thank you, Mr. Tom Ace. Weapons of mass destruction. That's what they sure are. They don't make these anymore. You know why? Because today's little boys don't have the balls anymore. Jet Jara, I'm not 4 feet tall. I am more like 5'8", sonny boy. So take a walk, Buster. Who cares? And Yeti, you can hate me all you want, but get out of here. And Mr. Brian, I'm not no sausage swallower, little fella. You are the sausage swallower. So you need to take a walk and go take a look at the other side. Did I say I was 8 feet tall? No. The only people that are 8 feet tall, and Gary's going to agree with me on this, Bigfoot. Do you agree with me, Gary, on that? Bigfoot. Are you a fan of Bigfoot?
Sure, Beast. Sure. Are you a fan of Bigfoot?
I'm
on board with you.
I have heard of stories of Bigfoot, and yes, there's some Bigfoot here in the United States. There's some here in the U.S., there's some here in Africa, and there's some in different parts of the world, but Bigfoot does exist. It's just the world won't tell you, and the news won't tell you. But, RFK has been looking up files on a lot of crazy things. Have you been watching lately?
Yeah, RFK told the governor of West Virginia to go on a carnivore diet because all you need to be healthy is fatty meat and water. You don't need anything else.
Well, before fatty meat and water, you also need to have fruits and veggies. Also, a little bit of carbs in your diet. Carbs in your diet are the best thing too. Yes.
Vegetables are extraordinarily toxic. Don't eat vegetables.
Hey, vegetables are supposed to be good for you. They're healthy as long as they're non-GMO. There are 2 differences, Gary. There's GMO and then there's non-GMO. I go with the non-GMO. Why? Because the non-GMO has a lot of goods in there. Plus, if you make common sense out of it, you'll actually go somewhere with it. So you gotta think.
Do you eat vegetables, Beast?
Yes, I do. I love corn. I haven't
had a vegetable in over 2 years.
Hey, Pat McAfee's. My attic is fresh. I got spray, dude. So walk the line and get out my face, you big joke off. And let me just say this for everybody. My attic is fine. I have an international kind of attic. It's very different. But I'm gonna say this for everybody. Do not make fun of me. And no, my attic does not smell like cat piss, Mr. Ryan Kozar. You're just a putz who has no idea what life is if life depended on it.
Better than vegetables. Vegetables are toxic. I don't let my kids eat vegetables. My kids can eat fruit.
Bananas are good for you. Bananas are good for you. there's one thing you forgot, Gary. There's two different kinds of apples. Did you also know that the apples have GMO on it by the number 4?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Did you know that? Did you know that apples have the number 4 on it? Did you know number 4 is GMO?
I don't know what that even means. No, I didn't know that. I don't even know.
Number 4 is GMO apple. It's GMO engineered, which is disgusting. Did you also know that? Did you know if you get the numbers on it, you got to look at the numbers very clearly too, because they print them out very small where you can't see it. Hey, do you assholes on here who like to insult my guinea pig? Hey, screw you. You're not worth the effort, and you don't have the heart. You don't have the guts. And let me just say this. My guinea pig is nice, and if you don't like it, suck it up, Buttercup, because you know what? You're all just a bunch of little yellow dogs who hide in your mama's basement and play with yourselves. Now I'm going to get back to business here. Vegetables are good for you. Carrots are good for you. Corn's good for you. Peas are good for you. But I don't like peas for some reason.
Was the original Plan B. Carrots are so toxic that they were used as the original Plan B. Women who were unclean would eat carrots to get rid of the fetus in early pregnancy. You can look that up. That's how toxic carrots were. And now they've evolved a little bit, so now we can eat them. Don't eat carrots.
Well, this is what you do right now. Do you know what you do with carrots? If they start getting them stringies on it, there's a thing called. You ever hear of a scraper? You scrape the crap off of them with a knife. I've been actually doing that with a knife because you know why? It's the smart way of doing it because it's common sense. So where are you going, Gary? So what are you doing in Vegas, Gary? Are you on a business or what are you doing?
Yeah, I got a fight. I'm working. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I see that point. It's fair. It's reason. I can't take nothing away from you because you're a smart individual. Sure. We have our differences about the moon landing, about who says it's real and who says it's fake. You know what? I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm just gonna take your quote. If it's real, it's real. It's fine. Whatever. Yada yada yada. Move the rest of the line. But to my point, I'm gonna make this short and sweet for everybody. Who do you see for the World Series this year for baseball? Who do you see?
Oh, the Mets. No question about it.
Ooh. Well, if the Mets are going to look good this year because they have the Mets did get Soto. Remember that. They got Soto. That was a good deal.
Fenner will terminate a pregnancy. That is true, Knob. That is true. Knob is correct.
What? You got to remember, too, we're going to see what happens in the long run because remember, we just started. We're gonna see where it all goes for the future. But as in meantime, I kind of see the Mets and the Braves and the Cubs. I think that's the big three for now. But we'll wait and see when the time comes and the time is right. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do inappropriate fireman's pole down the stairs. That's disgusting. I'm sorry, that's for strippers. No, thank you. The Jets.
Don't go to strip club.
Mr. Frankie, you are correct about one thing, but unfortunately, I do more than you do. So, guys, I eat carrots. Thank you.
I don't.
Mr. Jake, there's an inappropriate gesture here saying, supporting a carrot in my ass. I'm sorry, Slugo. That needs to be removed. You need to go, son. Bye. Bye. And right now, I got to get back to action because I'm playing a little NHL 2000 on my PlayStation.
Beast, remember to vote for me this afternoon.
Oh, don't worry. You're gonna be taken good care of. Remember, I'm not the. Remember, hey. If I take care of you, you take care of me. That's the way the world works. Hey, it's like being in the mob. You know, it's like saying, hey, welcome to the mob. It's once you're welcome in, you're welcome in. Now, I'm going to go back over here, get a little PlayStation in, hit the shower on 1, get ready to do a little thing. Jay, can I borrow some? I'm not giving you guys any money. If you want money, go out and get it yourself. Even Mr. Brigger will say, go out and get a job, you bunch of losers. Jake, I need $700. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. What do you think I look like, a bank?
40 push-ups. Can you do 40 push-ups?
Back in my high school era, yes, but unfortunately, the bones can't do what it used to because
can you do 10 push-ups?
Oh, this guy. This guy wants to play hardball, I see. Oh, this is not going to be. I'm going to try and do as much as I can.
Most adult men over the age of 40 can't do 10 push-ups. Is he doing push-ups? Is he going all the way down?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, but he pushed up a lot of weight. That's pretty impressive. I did not think he could be able to do 10.
Hey, for 250, Mr. Gary. For 258, I'm looking great. I'm not gonna let the negative bother me. You know why?
That's pretty good.
I'm not gonna let the negatives bother me because why? Negatives are for crybabies. Positives are the best.
Push-ups.
And I see you're supporting. I see you're supporting Little Italy. Yes, Italia.
They were real. Did you go all the way down? Did you go down like? Put your hand there?
Yeah, I did, but I gotta watch too because
it looked okay. No,
Tommy, thank you. Gracias. Hey, Brigham State, you are incorrect. Go back to the drawing board and redo that again. It's incomplete paper. They would tell you that in college, the same words, Sorry, incomplete paper, go back. Now, I'm about to get over here on this PlayStation, play a little NHL 2000, and then I'm going to hit the showers, and then I got to get out of here by 3:30 because I'm going to the suburbs today.
What's in the suburbs?
Going at countryside. Northern suburbs. We're for fun because there's a couple places I gotta stop at. Gotta go to Half Price Books, go see what kind of metal they have in my department, and I'm gonna stop at Dollar Tree and pick up a couple Slim Jims and a few waters. But I'm gonna be careful because did you know Fiji has disgusting garbage in their water?
No.
Did you know that?
I have Fiji water. No, I didn't know that.
I wouldn't touch that. Well, I wouldn't touch that kind of water. If you want good water, you get like get Ice Mountain. You ever try Ice Mountain?
No.
It's good. That's really good water. I like Ice Mountain. That's actually very, very good for you. The water's not that bad, but you're gonna. But if you freeze it and it's cold, it's good. It's supposed to be good. 258. Hey. Mr. Bele 66, do not be inappropriate. Hey, my lips to my ass is fine, but unfortunately, I'm still looking good, and you're just being a crybaby. So, beat it, slope. Next question.
Philly. Philly claims that you were on your knees. I couldn't see. I can't confirm or deny. How would you respond to those allegations?
Noodle. Can I address something to you, son? I have very bad knees because I played baseball for over plenty of years. See, I played 10 years of ball.
Baseball? Or do you think it's because
Yes,
you're 400 pounds?
Yeah, I have. I played left, I played center, and I played first.
Do you think it's because you played baseball as a kid, or do you think it's because you're 400 pounds that your knees are bad?
I played baseball for 10 years. I'm
not saying you did.
I played basketball for a period of years. So I used to play football too.
Do you think the knee damage is from carrying all that weight, or do you think it's from playing left field?
I played left. I played center. I played first. I played three different positions.
I'm asking about the knee injury.
Let me finish. At age 17, I hit 44 home runs that year. I had a really good year because of a lot of good things. I stayed positive, and I had a girlfriend at the time. But as years went by, sure, the numbers slipped a little. But you know what? We go down once in a while, and we get back up. It's like saying get back up on your horse and ride. That's all. Inappropriate question. I'm sorry, it's inappropriate. What time is your flight, by the way? I'm going to ask you, what time is your flight?
I already got off my flight. I landed an hour ago, more than an hour ago. Whenever the show started.
Okay. So wait, but let me make one suggestion. Don't go to the $100 tables and don't go by the $100 video poker machines. You'll get nailed by it. Go by the dollar machines. The little dollar machines.
I'll play some blackjack, but no high stakes. Nothing high stakes for me. I'll throw a couple bucks down. If I get down a couple $100, I'm out. the casino games.
Don't
they're
spend
not,
any
they're not in
more
your
than
favor.
hey, $25 is fine. $25 is fine, not 100. 100 will kick you in the ass. So
Yeah.
if I were you, stay to $25 because you're gonna need a couple bucks when you get hungry. So, and if I may make one suggestion, try Wendy's once in a while. Wendy's is actually really good.
Thanks. No thanks. No Wendy's, no carrots.
No Wendy's.
No Wendy's.
How do
no
you have?
carrots.
How do you supposed to have a social life if you don't have a Wendy's or a
How can you have a social
a
if you
Cheesecake
don't go to
Factory or
Wendy's?
Five Guys
Can we
or a
put any
Cane's?
votes?
How are you supposed to make that? No, Jersey Jet. I did not lose my virginity to a Nigerian girl. I had it more with a real American girl. So, Sonny boy, you got your facts incomplete and ass backwards. So I'm sorry I don't go dumpster diving, Mr. Phantom. Dumpster diving is for low IQ idiots with low IQs cheaper than Dollar Tree toilet paper. So,
I don't know what you mean by dumpster diving. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like banging some fatties or something?
People
What does that mean?
people do that once in a while because it's because they're desperate for food. It's because they're desperate these days. Well, it's because we live in a strange society. Understand that. We live in a strange world with strange things. And I'm sorry, I don't go dumpster diving. That's for low IQ putts and low IQ idiots with no brains.
If you lost your virginity to a hooker, you're still a virgin.
No.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just putting that out there.
Piss poor, incomplete data that doesn't count. I'm sorry to all you guys on here. If you want to make love to cardboard, if you want to make love to a cardboard cutout, you can go ahead and do that. But me, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm about to go over here, put a little hockey on, and play a little hockey. So I'm about to fly like the wind. You go out and have your fun. I'm going to do my thing. So, as they say in California, you know this old saying, surf up. Cowabunga. Catch you later.
Weed, this is for you.
This guy's unbelievable. He'll do anything for votes.
All right, Weed, you got your wish. I did it.
I was being a good friend to Gary there, Peter. Gary said he needed something to do, so Beast and I thought it'd be great if they could just talk things through. And the chat seemed to really enjoy it. Jeez. JD writes in, this is why Gary wins. He can converse with anyone. He can, and he's very funny while doing it. That's what helps Gary. Gary's the complete caller, because Gary could give batshit crazy jet takes, but they're highly entertaining. He could talk about non-sports things, and it's whether you agree or disagree, it's entertaining. And he's one of those callers that I could throw up there with a Beast, with a Bobby, with a Lane, Cheats fan, and he fits right in, and it's funny. So Gary's elite. That's what Craig's up against on the afternoon show today. But Craig's also great in his own right. So I love it. This has been some show. Almost 2 hours in. Quick update on the polls. They will close soon. I want to give people more time to vote because it's still tight. Lane Train is up 53-47. 596 votes have been cast. Clifton had the lead early, but I'd say for what? Probably the last hour or so, it's kind of shifted towards the Lane Train. Lane is a legend for a reason. Now, we haven't heard from Lane today. I'd imagine he's going to need to call in if he advances in the Elite Eight to have a legit chance against either a Bonesy or a V-Man. JD says he's late for his tea time watching this. That's the best compliment one can get. Jet Jaro, Beast versus the chat. Hilarious. It's just great that Beast has workable internet now. I mean, that's the big thing. Rich says, hit the like. Jimbo, Gary's a multifaceted individual. Sluggo, Gary's a good man. Toaster Strudel, do I put conditioner in my stash? I don't. I use Copper John's mustache products that they sent me. Pat McAfee, Beast finally upgraded from dial-up. No, Gator just finally was able to figure out how to get him a workable mic. Comment here from A2 Salad Vendorod. Craig and Gary's a pick 'em. It's tough. Manny says it was either working internet or lights. He clearly chose internet. Beast, do you have any light in your room, by the way? You just have no lights in there? You just have the window? Beast? You there, bud? Beast? Do you have any lighting in your attic whatsoever? Beast? Beast, you there?
Sorry about the mess. Hold on 1 minute, please. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I was just doing a little bit of re-scouting, that a little bit of a take there, and I was trying to get a little hockey in it because it's it's hockey season. I want to finish it off. I want to get everything under control, and I want to have a little fun. See, positivity is the best. If you live a negative life and you want to be in the dumps and you want to keep living in pain and stuff, would you silence, or should I do one of these?
Thank you very much, Beast. That definitely answered my question. Anyway, Thunder Lips in the raffle for 5. He says he packed my shirt so I could be a fanboy at the tournament. You better call in rocking the merch I sent you, Thunder Lips. Love it. Love it. All right, folks. Before I close polling, Kyle Clifton is on the line again. Kyle, one last pitch to the voters before we close the poll. You had the lead. There's been, I'd say in the last hour or so, a lot of love for Lane has come through the pipeline here. Where do things stand on your end?
Being the all-time leading tackler in Jets history isn't quite what it used to be. So, it's tough. I know that Lane has his adherents. Apparently, some of them were late coming into the show today. I think his lead at this point might be somewhat insurmountable. Not for lack of trying. I've been exhorting people in the Patreon and in the chat.
Have you? I love that.
But it is what it is. Sometimes you have to tip your hat to the other guy, and if I don't come back in the next few minutes, I'll probably be rooting Lane on the rest of the way, like the rest of the ASMANIACs.
Well, I think that's what you want to see happen if you don't win, because then you could say, "Hey, there's no shame in losing to the champ."
Yeah, that's for sure. And he is a special caller. He has very memorable calls, and it's about tipping your hat at the other guy, like I said.
Kyle, excellent job today. Great fight, and I guess we'll see what happens here. Let's see if there's any late Kyle Clifton movement.
Thanks, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4 seed in the Sweet 16, Kyle Clifton. Jersey Jet, good fight, but Lane Train is different. Jet Charo, love you, Kyle, but Lane's another level of hilarity. You got to admit it. Phantom, Kyle Clifton fought valiantly. Love that. M. Morris, Clifton, a real champion. Oscar, F that, Kyle. We're going out until the end. No surrender. Christopher says, support the channel. Jake's the best. Both Kyle and Lane are phenomenal. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate your support. Appreciate everyone who tunes in. I mean, we do this year-round, so some people just watch when the season's happening or when there's breaking news, but the ones who are here every day, thank you. Hopefully, a lot of you guys will be at the draft party, like I know Kyle Clifton will be. And I've invited the Lane Train to the draft party, but I think he said on the air he's not sure if he's available or he can't go. I don't know. I reached out to the family of the Lane Train as well to let them know that we'd love to have Lane there. Which I did, by the way, for this competition as well. I tried to get Lane to be made aware that he's even competing. Anyway, that's a show, folks. Beast might still be watching the film. Real quick, let's find out. Beast, how are you? You there? Oh, yeah, he's watching the film. Let's see when he realizes he's on the air again. A little delay. Inside the mind of the Beast, where there's no light whatsoever inside the attic. The international attic, to be specific, by the way. It's not just an attic. Beast said earlier his show is an international attic. I thought you were playing video games, Beast. Didn't you say you were going to play NHL? Rich says, hit the like button on your way out. He's right. Joe says, the draft party will be tremendous. Looking forward. Joe, can't wait, man. Glad you got your ticket. Jet Dog, Lane's an Asmaniac legend. No shame in losing to him. No doubt. Trying to give Clifton more time here. It's 52-48. He did gain a point. Normally go about 2 hours, so we got 15 seconds. Oscar says film's got to come first before video games. Yep. I agree. Beast still has no idea he's on the air. Beast?
Sorry about the mess.
Thank you, Beast. All right. That's a show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're back this afternoon. 4:30 Eastern is the projected start time. By now, you know the matchup. Gary, live from Vegas. Craig, live from Australia. Going at it. Get ready for that. But right now, it's time to officially declare a winner in our Sweet 16 matchup. And advancing to the Elite Eight is the Lane Train defeats the great Kyle Clifton 51-48, the final score. 624 votes were officially cast. Kyle had the lead. He fought as well as you could fight. But ultimately, the Lane Train's overall body of work got him a big W. So Lane advances. And that means we need to figure out who Lane's opponent will be. Tomorrow on the show, Mr. Bonesy, the 3 seed, V-Man, the 2 seed. Winner will face the Lane Train in the Elite Eight of the Train region. This afternoon, we find out who will face Ricky NY in the Elite Eight in the Butter region. So that's what we have to look forward to later on today. Again, thank you to Nick Faria who called in. Thank you to everyone who gifted a membership. Extending the raffle to Monday, so we'll give people over the weekend some chances to enter. We added the Emerson Boozer helmet yesterday. So we got a lot of great prizes this week with the Super Bowl III theme being very popular, which is awesome to see. All right, that does it. Thank you again to everyone for their incredible support. And in honor of Lane winning, why don't we give you guys some classic Lane Train, shall we? Lane's moving on. Our show is done. But before we go, enjoy the best of Lane. I think it's time to get to some calls, baby. The Lane Train is starting us off. Lane, what do you got for us?
Who do you see Michigan drafting? Oh, hi. With the 10th pick in the 2024 draft, Michigan takes the sports player from?
Well, Michigan won't draft anyone because they're a college team.
I just don't see the Jets signing Bill Belichick. His season's over. How do you feel about it?
Lane, I feel great. How about the broadcast, by the way? Robert Smith called Bruce.
Handoff in there to Bruce Hall effectively to get that first down.
I mean, the Lane Train influence in this game today, folks. It was everywhere.
So I have a bunch of good stuff to tell you. There's 2 games on today, and there's games on tomorrow. And there's a lot of stuff happening in sports right now. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you think you draft A.J. Brown, or do you draft anybody else that is willing that's available?
Well, A.J. Brown, you'd have to trade for, so I would not draft him.
I know. Hi. How are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
You people wanted the Lane Train, and guess what? Joining us right now is the aforementioned Lane Kerner. Hello, Lane.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Oh, God.
How are you?
Hi, Lane.
How do you feel about my new beard? Yes, I grew it overnight. How do you feel? More news. How do you feel? So there's 2 sports games on today and 2 sports games on tomorrow. How do you feel? Bruce Hall. Good, right? How do you feel about the Jets drafting a college player this year? Can they trade Robert Scala? How do you feel?
Lane, thank you for the call. Good God, man. Bruce Hall. My favorite Laneism is still Elijah Morse. He's talking about AVT. Thanks for the contribution, Gator.